Humanity has opened the gates of hell. Horrendous heat is having horrendous effects. Distraught farmers watching crops carried away by floods, sweltering temperatures spawning disease, and thousands fleeing in fear as historic fires rage.
We were fighting, we felt like we were winning. We were keeping it at bay, keeping it off of the properties. The water shut off. Even the firemen that were patrolling couldn't refill their trucks.
During and after the tragic earthquake in Morocco, which has so far claimed over 3,000 lives, showed an unusual light phenomena. Triggering bursts of blue light in the sky were captured by security cameras in parts of Morocco minutes before the powerful earthquake. These unverified videos of strange lights flashing in the sky above Agadir in Morocco hours before the devastating quake have baffled the onlookers.
According to the Red Crescent, the death toll now stands at more than 10,000 people. The organisation also saying that it believes around 2,000 bodies remain at sea and thousands more remain missing. Recovery workers have spent several days now searching through mangled ruins of buildings and scouring the coastline near the city of Derna, looking for survivors and searching for bodies. The city was inundated by a wall of water when two dams broke. They broke in the middle of the night as many residents were sleeping. So entire families have been wiped out by these floods.
Humanity has opened the gates of hell.
Climate change is absolutely terrifying, and not for the reasons that you're led to believe. You want a certain piece of land, but the residents do not want to give up this land. This is their ancestral homes, but you want to change it into a new landscape, an eco-friendly, elite-owned island, possibly an Uncle Jeffrey's Island 2.0. But like I said, these residents do not want to sell. So how do you force their hand? You don't. You let climate change force their hand. The Earth's population is getting too out of hand, it's getting too out of control. We have set guidelines where we want the population to be, as read on the Georgia Guidestones and spoken about at the World Economic Forum. We need this population to be where it was 500 years ago. To make all of Earth's problems go away, we need the population to be just under 500 million. Yeah, we can poison their food supply, but we have already been doing that and hiding our poisons under the Monsanto Act, one of the most deadliest policies approved in America to use against Americans, has not been reversed by any president or members of Congress, whether they're on the left or the right. Yeah, we'll tell you about the aliens because it's your right to know as Americans these aliens that we're hiding, but we are not going to let you know what you're consuming on a daily basis. We're going to protect these GMO companies like Monsanto. Oh, you got cancer from one of these GMO products, so what? Go ahead and turn to Big Pharma. They're always there for you. The lab-made diseases can help, but we really need to speed this up. We need this property, we need this land, we need these homes gone, and we need to reduce the population at the same time. We need to knock out two birds with one stone. So we're going to use that thing that we have been beating in the public's head over and over and over again, that it is the big bad boogeyman that will wipe out humanity. And with this, we will open the gates to hell. United Nations Secretary General has issued a stark warning saying, due to humanity's inaction to combat climate change, humanity has opened the gates to hell. And you know what? I agree with him. I strongly agree with him that humans have opened the gates to hell. But it's not me, it's not you, it's not the public. It's these elite who believe they're God, who play God on a daily basis, with things like CERN, with things like HAARP, weather modification. You had China making an artificial sun. For what reason? Like, that can't go wrong. And their reasoning is because of science, for the science, for clean energy. The sun already gives us all the clean energy we need. To prove all these countries work hand in hand, As China is building this artificial sun, you had Bill Gates finding ways to block out our natural sun. He wanted to spray dust into the atmosphere to block out the sun's rays, to block out the sun's energy. Why? For global warming, for climate change. Not even the air we breathe is natural anymore thanks to things like 5G, the radioactive poison, thanks to things like chemtrails that fall out of the sky. Because they hate who created what is natural for us. They hate the natural creator. All this artificial they are creating, all this poison that is tampering with what is natural is allowing them to see themselves as God. Now the weather is no longer normal and they are blaming us, even though they have been playing God with the weather since the 30s, if not before then. General Electric, GE, was modifying the weather with Project Cirrus, which ran from 1947 to 1952. During that time, under the supervision of the United States Air Force, attempts were made to create snowstorms and seed hurricanes by using silver iodide. Why did this project stop? It only stopped because it became too controversial, meaning, let's continue to do it, but no longer tell the public. These projects, they never stop. They're only given new names. For example, between 1962 and 1983, there was Project Storm Fury, which saw the United States actually seed tropical cyclones with silver iodide. Sound familiar? Doesn't that sound very similar to Project Cirrus? Now, this silver iodide to seed the clouds, which I'm sure they're still using today, the United States National Library of Medicine has noted the silver iodide has no known ill effects on people, although people's hands may have remained yellow for weeks after being exposed to it. That's natural, right? Yellow hands? That can't indicate any sickness whatsoever. Just put some ice on your hands, you'll be fine. They have even modified the weather to use in war. Under Operation Popeye was a highly classified operation run by the United States military from 1967 to 1972. The purpose was to prolong the monsoon in Southeast Asia. The overwhelming weather, the overwhelming rain successfully disrupted the tactics of the Vietnamese army. In 1975, the United States and Canada entered into an agreement under the guidance of the United Nations for the exchange of information on weather modification activity. The same United Nations that has said we have opened the gates to hell when it comes to climate change. You can even look at the Senate Bill 1807 and House Bill 3445, which was introduced July 17, 2007, which allowed for more funding to go to weather modification. They have been modifying and playing God with the weather for almost 100 years now, if not longer than that. And you don't believe by now they don't have mastery over these systems. When Maui burned down, FEMA's director said, "This is now our new normal. Chaotic weather is our new normal. We just have to live with it." Scientists are warning us that 1 billion people are on track to die from climate change. The fossil fuels that humanity burns today will be a death sentence for many lives tomorrow, and I am sure they are being very generous with that 1 billion number. Let's not forget those evil cows we have to get rid of with their burps and farts affecting the climate as well. You're better off eating bugs. Do not question those seeds that are being put into the clouds. Do not question those strange lights that always occur right before a massive earthquake. Those strange lights that scientists have no explanation for whatsoever, but want to say they're caused by the earthquake itself. Those same lights that always look very different every time they appear. Just shut up, don't question it, just know it's natural and it comes from the earth. So don't blame us, even though we have been bending the weather to our whim for decades. It's your fault the gates of hell have been opened due to you driving around that gas-guzzling car. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.